Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome for the first time, and if you are returning, welcome back. Today is my last project I'm going to work on in my art well-being journal. It's the challenge that I received from Lara Fuller, and we've been working on this for the last few videos. All of Lara's information for her channel is linked below, as well as the playlist for this video. Today we're working on the topic of unity, a page to go in the section that she titled Unity. So what is unity? The definition in Webster's is the quality or state of not being multiple, a single or a whole unit. And in Oxford Dictionary, which I think is more kind of the idea I'm going for, the state of being in agreement and working together, the state of being joined together to form one unit. So that's kind of what I think of when I think of unity. Of course, as a person of faith, I think of unity in the faith, how we are one body of believers and we all share the Holy Spirit, and that unifies us, hopefully being like-minded and of the same purpose towards the same goal. So these are my definitions of unity. Well, not mine. That's just what I think of when I think of unity. And I am going to illustrate that with a sewing or stitchery theme, because stitching and sewing brings multiple parts together and creates something new, something whole, and is held together with the threads or with the stitches. So that's where we're going with this today. I hope you guys will join along, craft along as I work on my page. And then next week, I will do a flip through of the parts that I've done so far. But as I shared in my last video, I feel like an art well-being journal is always going to be somewhat of a work in progress, because you should be working in an art well-being journal of some sort to just kind of process things and work things through, and to just kind of like a brain dump. And it can be pictures or words. I'm also going to link below a couple of videos that I found recently. One was a talk about creativity. It was a TED Talk. And what does that do for you? How does being creative help you, or help you with your mental health? And then the second one is a video from a lady that I really enjoy watching from time to time. Her channel name is The Unexpected Gypsy, and I really enjoy listening to her talk. She looks like a little wood nymph or a tree elf. She's just so cute. and I'm not saying that to be demeaning. I just really like her openness and how she shares things, but she's also just very charming individual. You'll understand if you go to her channel. But one of her earliest videos was about doing art well-being, and she draws and paints and does all kinds of things. But I've got those both linked below because they were both full of really good information. So if you're wanting to continue exploring this category of this type of creating art for yourself, I think those are good places to start. That being said, we are going to dive right into this page right after this. I grabbed out a few little fabric pieces because I don't think any layout or spread that is involved with sewing as a theme is complete unless I have some sort of fabric element. And then I have remember my tape measure, not tape measure, that's woodwork, my measuring tape. This is my original one from when I learned how to sew. It's pretty junky, but I wanted to include some of that in this project, and then possibly this strip of buttons and things that came in a pile of trims that I found at the thrift store at one point. So those are, it's going to be probably another chunky piece. That is really kind of fun. I mean, I don't really use a lot of texture and chunk and stuff in my creations, but I have to say that this journal is really turning out that way with a lot of texture and stuff. And so it's kind of fun to do that, you know, to make something like that, and it's so visual. I have these. I'm gonna cut out some of these ladies. Oh wait, there's Mini Me. That represented me, but I also like this lady. Conundrum. Here's this. This can be laid down in the background. And then some stitching pages, things about embroidery, which this has a lot of the basic stitches. So I don't know that I want to tear it up. I might just slide it into something because I want to be able to refer to that. I really kind of wonder if maybe later I'll get back into embroidery since I haven't done it for 50 years of my life. Why not start now? For the base, I'm going to use, excuse me for a sec, I'm gonna set that aside. Okay, so for the base, I'm gonna just glue together a couple of these pages that Lara sent me. These have images on them that are really cool. So I'm going to tear it up, but by the time I get done with my background and collage and stuff, you probably won't see much of it. And I'm using this to measure. When I'm all done, I'll use this to measure. Excuse my arm there, but I think this page could go in that pocket and that would be just fine. Yeah, so this was that piece of scrapbook paper and I just took it and folded it up and made a pocket there. And I don't know what I'll put here. I might try gluing this on here. Not sure. But anyway, I have this handy in case I decide to do something with that. But since all of these other pieces I'm wanting to lay out, I think the best way for that is to just make a separate page. All right, let's start with some gluing just to get this kind of put together, and possibly I will, depending on how this turns out, I might decide to do some sewing around the edge if it'll fit in my machine. My machine is around 40 years old or so, and it, you know, it's a tank. It's a very basic machine and doesn't really have a lot of fancy stitches or stuff. I'm trying to find a piece here that has good markings on it. And usually your smaller pieces, oh here, this is a good one. That's a collar, yep, that's what we want. Usually the smaller pieces are better for that. I just snagged out this entire pattern. Those should do. I used the actual packet, you know, that the pattern was in as a pocket for earlier in this journal. I'm sorry if this is too loud. And then I just pulled out all the contents of that and decided I would create with it. So I'm just gonna kind of lay some stuff down and then create over the top, and we'll see what we get. So for this, I'm just gonna do the old glue stick in the background trick. Probably make sure that this is, make sure that that is right side up. And I think I want to tear it into pieces, so let's see. Pattern tissue, gotta love this stuff. It is the best. Let's see. So I'm already trying to be too precise. I'm gonna scoot this one down a bit because it's got that weird curve. And more glue stick. Let's see. Got a pretty good day today. I had to go get my hair done. And I was going to do some errands, and then I realized, you know what, you can just put that off. You can just do that tomorrow, because it wasn't anything pressing or urgent. Also, I needed to get this video done, but I also needed a nap first, so I'm well rested. Hopefully my words will come. Let's see, where is this? Now, some of this may end up just getting covered up. I don't know. I'm just going where the impulse takes me. Let's see. Tear off some of that right there, because I really want to get right in there. You can have lots of layers of the tissue paper. I would really want to, at some point, try that fabric paper experiment that Gail Augustinelli's done it a couple times on her channel, but she layers up all the tissue papers and napkins and stuff onto a piece of fabric and creates like a whole new look. And she does a bunch of layers, and I'm thinking these extra pieces of pattern tissue would be great for that. I'm just trying to get that haphazard look of a bunch of pattern pieces overlapping. We'll see. We'll see if I achieve that. Kind of hard to tear around this stuff. I guess I could cut it, but sometimes cutting it is not any easier than, let's do this. Sometimes cutting it is not any better than trying to just tear it. There we go. So if I'm going to tear it, I might as well glue it down first. Tear it where I want it, you know? I remember being fascinated by this stuff when I was little. Uh-oh, that's the end of that glue stick. Oh dear. Yeah, I was just fascinated by the tissue paper. Probably in part, again, because of the crinkle, but it was just an interesting thing. And of course it was paper, right? So let me go grab another glue stick now. Let's do, oops, see, it doesn't really want to tear. There we go. Ah! This will have two sides. I guess I got to remember that. This is probably going to be a very thick piece because I'm going to put some more of other things down on it before I'm done here. Yeah, that's definitely out. Okay. I'll have to say I've been pleasantly surprised by these purple sticks. I'm sure I've said it before, but I'm going to say it again. So in case you're wondering, now, you know, I've not been a big fan of glue stick, but last year I went and bought a bunch during the back to school time. Because you can get, at back to school time, you can get 3 of these bigger sticks for, it was $1 at Walmart. We'll see what they wind up being this year. I think they'll raise their price. But during the rest of the year, they're a little bit more. I think it's like 2 for $1. So it was money well spent. And I knew I had a lot of collage in my future over the winter, so I wanted to make sure I had enough glue. Because, you know, after COVID, you never know when you might be denied important things like glue and toilet paper. We're all a little gun shy now. Let's see. This part. Oh, that just covers that. How nice. Okay, so let's go up to here. Ah! I figure any extra pieces that I cut off can be like a journal card or something. Even if it's not in this journal, it would make a pretty cool looking journal card in another journal. I'm almost about ready to start actually working on another journal. I'm almost there after getting worn out with all those other ones. All the ones I did last fall and over Christmas kind of did me in. Creatively speaking, I just needed a nice long break, but I think I'm about there. Let's see. I guess I like my creative side because you're not so nailed down to like schedules and timetables, and you have that freedom to just create as you would like to. Well, I drastically overestimated on that, how much I needed. Let me grab another piece out here. I just want to lay this down as the base layer on both sides. This one has bigger pieces. Okay. Don't want to spend too much time doing this, but I do want it covered on both sides. So, unity. Every time I hear that word, there was a song that one of my professors in college taught me, and it's based on a Bible verse, but behold how good and how pleasant it is for the brethren to dwell together in unity. I can't remember the verse exactly, but the words of the song go on to say it was like the precious ointment upon the beard that ran down, like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that flowed down to the hem of his garment. Praise ye the Lord. I can't remember where that actual verse is, though, in Scripture, and I forgot to take time to look it up before I started yakking at you. So, let's see, I want one more little something that looks interesting, like maybe that one. Another piece of the front of the blouse. So you definitely want all these interesting lines and the words and the markings to go every which way. Yeah, this is going to be a really thick piece when I'm all done with it. And there's that. I need that? Okay. Just want to make sure it's getting every bit of this covered. That is fun. We have you. Wow, that was pretty good guessing on my part. Got it all the way up there. Do a little bit right there. A little bit right there. So, what do they call this? The substrate? The substrate was the book page, I guess. But this kind of is too, because it's the base layer. I don't think people were doing much collage and this kind of thing. Decoupage. I mean, I guess they were in some degree, but not in the same way when I was little. I'm going to take this piece off of here. Oops, that's not very big, but I want it to cover right there. There we go. Okay, good, good, good. One of my bosses used to, when I was working at one of the elementary schools, my principal I worked for, she would always say everything in triplicate. Good, good, good. Hello, hello, hello. She's always on the go. She's a good principal. She restored my faith in female bosses because generally speaking, I don't like working for women. They're too temperamental. It's very sexist of me, I know, but it's also the truth. I much prefer working for a male boss. They're so much more level-headed. Okay, let's see. So this one has a little bit less. I was thinking maybe I could just slap this thing down across. I kind of like, this one has more pieces on it. Maybe I shouldn't do the whole thing. I was thinking this would be kind of fun to put on there, but I feel like it takes away from all the blue. The blue is so pretty. Okay. Wow, they've each got their own little way of looking, don't they? Now I'm going to cut these out really fast before I forget that I want to use this little girl. And then that way I can see of the bigger figures which one I can choose which one I want to use. I'm not going real close. I'm just kind of leaving a little border around her. Definitely not being fussy. Oh, she's holding a peach or something. That sounds good. Peaches sound good, don't they? Our last house, we had a nice big peach tree, and that thing would, man, it could produce, but they would get so heavy they would break the branches. Theoretically, you're supposed to go out and pick them like when they're small and pare down the amount that are on on the tree, but like who's got time for that when you're raising little kids and you've got a dog and a husband and all the other stuff? Who's got time to go out and pluck little baby peaches off of a tree so they don't mature? Not me. So we just would let it go. But boy, it made the best canned peaches. Canned peaches in the winter, oh, they're so good. And tomatoes. Tomatoes that you've processed from the summer. And then you get to eat them in the winter in your soup and your stew and your chili. And oh, it tastes so good. Oh, she's got, you know what? We could still use the top of her if we want. Let's go ahead and cut her out. I like her dress. It's very cute. Okay. There we go. Got that done. Got my pieces. Now, I do know that I wanted to lay this down. Maybe it should be its own page. I don't know. Had this with the stitching and the cross stitch, because I did do cross stitch for a while. Just tear it down. Tear it down and lay it on there, I guess. It's gonna be at a weird angle because of the way the photo is. I had that white pillow on that white blanket and it looked kind of odd. There's a pillow. And which part of this do I want to use? I want one part where you can actually read the numbers. This thing, I had used it so much that the little metal piece broke off and half the numbers, they just kind of wore off. Clip that off. And let's do like up to about 10 or 11. Let's do that. I was thinking that I would just lay this down and then keep going around it. But now I'm just like really covering up all of the pattern, aren't I? I like the colors in it. I might just make this its own page. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think I want this much. I don't know why I'm sticking them both down in the corner, but it just seems like the right thing to do. Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna switch back to a little bit heavier glue from the glue stick, just to make sure it all stays down. I may just flip this over and go back and forth from one side to the other. I think I want to move it up a bit like that. Let's do that. And then I've got all these pretty colors. That, I know, plaid with florals with, I don't know, let's take him out of there. I just grabbed a few. I don't really have any real preconceived idea of what to do with them. I just thought, well, let's throw some fabric on there. And this one is so thin, it's going to be another one of those where it just kind of bleeds through. You need something, I wonder if I can just use, I don't know if I want that flower to show or not, or if I just want the polka dot. I want something that doesn't look like you need to notice it, is what I want. Like that. And honestly, I like this piece showing. Okay. And then we have this peachy one down here. I really have no idea what I'm doing. Maybe you could fit over here. I don't want it to take away from this. I like the colors in that is the thing. There, how about that? Okay, gluing. So unity, things being unified together in purpose with a common goal. I'm spreading this out with my fingers so it doesn't leave yucky glue lines. And I'm not too worried about if some of the edges are, see how they're pinked and this one is straight. Does not bother me. Not gonna be a problem for me. I don't know if any of you guys are noticing, but I don't have any of my rings on today. And that is because also, I don't know if you can tell, but my fingers for the last couple of weeks have been so puffy. It was really scaring me how tight my rings were. And so finally the other day I was sitting there doing something, and so I just started twisting my rings around so I could see if I could get them off, because it was really like they were super tight. And I thought I'm gonna lose a finger because of lack of circulation or something. So at the moment, I don't know why. It was after my massage that started. I don't know if the massage brought out something that was damaging. I have no idea. Anyway, it should have gone down by now, because sometimes they do get puffy, but it doesn't last this long. I swear to you, I've been drinking all my water and trying to move around enough, but just not happening. So I have my little once a month craft night tomorrow night. Hopefully people will come. We'll see. We had to cancel last month because I wasn't going to be in town. I didn't have anybody that could host, you know, be in charge of opening and closing the building. So I just canceled it last month, and we won't have it next month because it's July, and I won't be here anyway again because it's July. We're going to be gone. It's yeah, so they did announce it. They actually announced it 2 weeks in a row. I was very proud of them. It also helps that my small group has the church office manager, and now one of our guys in our small group is the children's director. So that helps a lot when you're in a small group with the two people that need to make sure that it gets communicated. So then we'll break for July, and then we'll do August through November, and then break for Christmas, and then reassess. Okay, now I'm all sticky. I did not have a wet rag over here either. This is a dried out wet wipe, which I've used several times, so I probably need to just toss it. Okay, did that have glue there? It didn't. This may just be a mishmash of things, you know? Got my stitching. This is gonna stick. Let's put it on some plastic. And then I am gonna put this down towards the corner, because by the time I cut it apart, we wanna make sure we see the image. Let's do that. Let's see. Then got all these pieces. Well, let's just get to ripping, huh? Toss these out of the way. There we go. Yep, no rhyme or reason. Ooh, I like how that one looks better. I feel like there's more detail on that one, so that's cool. Okay, so I think now would be a good time for me to trim this down because the rest of it I want to make sure that I have it in all on the page where I want it. Have it exactly where I want it. Okay, so we're gonna mark here, mark across there. This is gonna be tricky. Okay, I'm gonna try to do this on my trimmer. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. Here it is, all trimmed down, and I went ahead and punched the holes. You can't see that top one very well, but it's there. So that's what this looks like now on this side. And back on this side, and here's the piece we cut off, so I can definitely use that for something else. Okay, so we have this. I feel like this needs, whoops, turn it the right way. Up. Okay, this way. I feel like it needs fabric on this side is what I would like. A piece of fabric. So we could do this random pink square here. And I am, in this instance, going to give it a pink, use the pinking shears on all four corners just to, since it's kind of more like a focal point in this case. Almost like a focal point. I want it to be more square. There we go. I feel like there's something I should be saying to you, but I got nothing. I got nothing, man. Got nothing. There's that. Okay. So here I am. I want me on this side. See how that will stand out better. So there's my little person. And I think I would like my measuring tape to run up behind that, along that side as well. And be underneath like that. What do you guys think? And then I think I'm going to use these. Use these on the other side. I might use these on that other page. So let's, oh, and I still have this. Okay, can't forget that. All right, so let's, oh, took it away. I'm going to run the glue in a line right down here. I do miss these old fabric measuring tapes because now they're all plastic. And when I tried to replace this one, I looked all over the place to try to find another fabric one. They just feel better. I think I wound up, if I remember right, I wound up just ordering an older one off of eBay because the plastic ones don't have the give. Like this is very forgiving. It doesn't get all crinkly and stuck in a certain shape. So I like that. And the next one should definitely last me for like the rest of my life. So got a lifetime supply of measuring tapes. In the meantime, I have found a couple more at thrift stores that aren't exactly fabric, but they're not really hard plastic either. So. Okay, so that's going to go like that. So let's do this. Let's see, which buttons do we like? I kind of feel like the colors through here match this pretty well. So we can put that along that edge. Now where do I want my zipper? This is an authentic metal zipper I found for 89 cents. Uh-oh. Thank you, Youth Ranch, for putting that right over the back of it where I can't open it. So this is the place. The Youth Ranch, you know, has their own version of the outlet bins. Did I ever tell you this? I can't remember. And it caught on fire last year, but I heard recently that it's been reopened now. It was an employee smoking that caused the fire, and it was a fire hazard. I'm surprised the inspector didn't tell them to clean more stuff out, because they used to have stuff out in the back, like just stacked all over the place. I mean, you could go look through it, but it was kind of an accident waiting to happen, unfortunately. What if I just put this? I mean, I like the zipper too, but that looks really cool like that, doesn't it? It does. Gonna do it. It's also very sticky where the price tag just was, so I don't foresee that I'm gonna do much else with this. And actually, let's scrap that and just put this guy along the edge. Just a little, I gotta pull it off. There are staples holding it on there. Don't want to get ruined, don't want to get injured, I mean. Luckily, my tetanus shot is up to date. I've got, let's see, I got it in 2019, so got 6 more years. 6 more years on my tetanus shot to go. Yeah. Oh, let's do it like that. That brings out that little bit of blue in there too. And I think I want to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to draw a line and trim right above it. And hopefully these guys can cut through that metal okay. Oh, nice. Ow. Now they don't want to come apart, but okay, that was scary. Okay. Wow. I thought for a minute when I was punching the holes, I thought, oh no, I'm gonna have another difficulty like the last time where my hole punch got stuck, but instead, this time it's the scissors. What if I do that? Wow, so chunky, so tactile. If I do this just right, that would be very precise. I don't know if this will work, to be honest, but I'm going to try gluing it so you can unzip the zipper. How does that sound? Go across the bottom. Oops, oops, oops. There we go. I'm going to have to wait for that to dry before we see. So then I'm playing with it anyway, right? Okay, that might work. Okay, dry, 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 dry. I don't want those on there, they're too chunky. Dress or neck zipper. Huh. I am terrible with zippers. I can never get them to sew in right. Let's put that on there. And let's staple. Because staples are fun. I don't know if I can reach in there. Oh, oh. Oops. I don't know what I'm, let's see. There we go. Not sure what I'm gonna be hitting on the back side. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna pound for a second. No injuries in this video. Close your ears. And where's the fourth one? 1, 2, right there. Oh, through the zipper. Oh, okay, so no one will get injured here. And then, should I put my lady? Let's do. She needs to be anchored though. Look at, I tried to draw the last few inches on this end because it was all worn off. Okay, you have done good service, little measuring tape. I'm gonna bring this out from there. Oh, this is interesting. Oh, I wonder if I should use the red side. Nope, I never used the red side when I was using it, so let's not There we go. And my lady. Unity. I want her to just bump up against that. Oh, her head. Okay, well, let's scoot this up. Scoot her up. I'm wanting her head to cover that staple a little bit. There we go. And I want her feet, I want this piece to be semi-straight. I gotta look at it for a sec. Oh wow, this is very gluey. It's so pliable. My other one, after it all dried, it was very stiff. The page we did last time with the leaves. Oh, that looks cool. Okay. I like it. I like it. I like it. I really like this side. Not 100% sure about this side. But also, it would help if this was staying glued down. I was trying to glue it so the little flap could be open and closed, but as long as it's glued down, it won't. You can't really open and shut it anyway, so I'll just glue it all the way down. There we go. That only leaves me with, I think, one staple showing, so that's good. Yes, good, that's good. My. Now, let me see this really fast. 'Cause I was thinking maybe I could do something like that. And her right here. I still wanted to use this though. Maybe I still can. Right up the edge like that. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'll glue that on second because I need to glue these down first. Oh, actually I want this to go on this edge because these are the holes. So let's do that. I could make her peeking up out of the pocket, but you wouldn't see her because then when things are in the pocket, they would cover it up. There she is. I'm just going to glue this down. Should put some lace. I used a lot of lace back in the day. There we go. And still trying to figure out how to use this. I like this flower on here, you know? If I do this, I don't know. I just don't think it's not gonna do anything great. Also, I do want to add this somewhere. I'm just not sure how to glue it down. Not sure what I was thinking on that. I mean, I can glue it down. I'm not sure how well it's gonna look. Okay, let's put these buttons along the edge. And I kind of want them to be within the color scheme because, you know, I'm like that. There we go. So now I have a hole right there, but that's okay. Maybe I can find something else to put there. Maybe we'll just crinkle it up a little bit. Add a little interest with the wrinkles. Okay, and now I'm gonna trim around the corner there as best I can. There we go. Uh-oh. Have to trim it right there. Okay, so maybe we're gonna take some of those wrinkles out. Make sure that comes down to the corner. All right, we got 2 pages for Unity on this one. That's kind kind of like a bonus. Okay, so there's my attempts at representing my attempts at embroidery as a wee girl, wee lass. Do I have a hair? I just felt something. I think I glued a hair down to my page. Okay. Well, at least I know whose it is, right? I wonder. I'm just going to take this one. And fill in the gap. Trying to cut that down back there. There we go. We'll just fill in the gap like so. Ah! There we go. Bingo. Oh, I wish it didn't have that piece showing though. Let's get rid of that. There we go. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. I like that it had this little bell on it. Isn't that cute? Move this away, I think. I'm going to clean up some little fuzzies and things here. Okay, so we wound up with 2 pages. This one's not very fancy yet, but it may end up with more stuff on it, but it looks like this on the back side. And here's this one. And there's the other side. Isn't that cool? Yay, we did it, we did it. Let's read our quote for the day. I have a quote, and in my mind it ties in loosely with unity because it talks about not letting people steal your joy. So you remain unified and of one purpose and one mind when you keep the goal in mind, right? This is a quote from Jesus Journal Junkies, and I don't know where she got the quote, but it's on my Instagram. Don't let the angry in others destroy the happy in you. You can respond without reacting. Don't let anyone steal the beauty of your day. Wise words from Jesus Journal Junkies on Instagram. She always has journaling prompts and stuff, so if you're interested in following her, you can always do that. She makes all kinds of stuff. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I need something else up there or if I should go with my daisy trim. Kind of like this daisy trim. This is the cutest. I think I found this at Walmart. I don't know if they still have it. I hope they do. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Last minute edition. I'm going to do one extra one there. Because I think it just looked kind of empty up here. And then that ties it in with the other page where I use the daisies. Okay, so now I'm going to declare it finished. That is super cool. Unity. Tell me what unity means to you below in the comments. Or how would you, if you had to create art that represented unity, what would you do for the art? What would you make? How would you depict it? It's kind of a, it's a idea. Uh-oh, this fell off. It's an idea that it's not concrete, right? It's just something that is kind of abstract. So how would you depict unity? I'm going to go back to here and put this guy back where he belongs and give him a clamp. Try to encourage him strongly to glue to the page, because otherwise I'm just going to have a big old icky glue spot there. If I leave it alone though, it should glue down. There we go. Okay, now we're officially done. Dog's barking. I need to go edit this video, and I will talk to you guys next week, and we'll do maybe a little bit of embellishing and then a final flip through of this journal. Thanks for joining me today. Until next time, be inspired, do something creative today, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye now.